Thank you. I move to take note of Minister McAllister's response to my question on identity verification on social media. We all know the real intent of the digital ID agenda. The United Kingdom has almost the same laws that we have here. In the last 2 weeks, British police have visited and advised hundreds of journalists and commentators they should stop criticising the Starmer government's policies. Some were arrested and imprisoned for nothing more than an opinion. Digital ID, misinformation laws, facial verification laws are all part of the control mechanism that facilitates government surveillance and tyranny. The mask has come off quickly. Only recently, Minister Gallagher reassured Australians the digital ID was not compulsory, yet without it, life will be impossible. The digital ID started life under the Morrison Liberal government. As recently as April, opposition leader Peter Dutton championed the misinformation and disinformation bill, and the Liberals support social media age verification. Age verification means the government forcing digital ID on everyone paired with frequent facial scans from the camera on your device. That means your internet device camera will be on permanently. One Nation opposes a world where children become hackers and subversives before they're old enough to drive, just so they can keep in contact with their friends and relatives on social media. Children will be forced into the dark corners of the web like peer-to-peer messaging where no protections exist against illegal material, hate, phishing, hacking and sextortion. Adults will no longer express their opinion for fear of that 4 a.m. United Kingdom-style raid from the thought police. Australians should have the option of a regulated private verification service if they see fit, because mandating digital ID is an unacceptable infringement of personal sovereignty. The government running the scheme and having all your data in real time is absolutely terrifying. Senator Hanson and I tried to move a Senate inquiry into a referendum to enshrine freedom of speech in our Constitution. It was opposed. One Nation will repeal the digital ID and related bills. We will protect free speech, protect the rights of parents and defend the human rights of all Australians.
Today, we examine Senator Malcolm Roberts' recent address concerning identity verification and the controversial digital ID agenda. Senator Roberts began by acknowledging Minister McAllister's response to his inquiry about identity verification on social media. He highlighted widespread concerns about the true purpose behind the digital ID agenda, arguing that it facilitates increased government surveillance and infringes on personal freedoms. Drawing comparisons to the United Kingdom, he pointed out how similar laws have led to alarming actions, including British police advising hundreds of journalists and commentators to cease criticism of government policies. Some have even faced arrests and imprisonment for merely expressing their opinions. Roberts warned that digital ID, misinformation laws, and facial verification measures are part of a control framework that threatens democratic principles. He reminded Australians of Minister Gallagher's assurances that digital ID would not be mandatory. However, he asserted that life without such an ID would become unfeasible, effectively making it compulsory. Roberts traced the origins of the digital ID initiative back to the Morrison government, noting opposition leader Peter Dutton's recent support for the Misinformation and Disinformation Bill, as well as the Liberals' endorsement of social media age verification. Roberts expressed grave concerns about age verification being used to enforce digital ID, requiring frequent facial scans via device cameras. This, he argued, could result in constant surveillance. He further criticized the potential consequences for children, who might turn to unregulated, unsafe parts of the internet to communicate. Adults, he cautioned, may also hesitate to share opinions due to fears of punitive action, drawing parallels to thought policing in the UK. Instead, Roberts advocated for Australians to have access to regulated, private verification services if they choose, without mandatory government oversight. He deemed government-controlled digital ID a serious infringement on personal sovereignty, labelling it terrifying. Finally, Roberts highlighted One Nation's efforts to protect Australians' freedoms, including proposing a referendum to enshrine free speech in the Constitution, a motion that was opposed. He reaffirmed his party's commitment to repealing the digital ID and related legislation, defending parental rights, and safeguarding human rights across the nation. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on today's analysis? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth discussions. Until next time, take care and goodbye.